I'm a delivery driver that finds trash on my route to flip for money, and this one is gonna be fun. I pulled up next to this baby and knew immediately that I was gonna turn this vanity into 2 nightstands. I thought to myself, what a great video opportunity. I'll just prop my phone up here on the back tire while I load this baby up. And then, you guessed it, I left it.
One eternity later.
The angels were watching out for me that day because after I drove back, it was still there on the ground where I left it.
Well, that only took 30 minutes. Where's the axe?
A common question.
Oh, it was over in that corner.
I thought it was too.
Probably thinks about that.
The exact moment I realized this is an axe and not a softball bat.
I'm just kidding, I'm not gonna do it.
The backing of this vanity is held on by 4 different screws, so it looks like it's going to be fairly simple to remove it.
Are you for real? For all that, it's a flathead.
So here's an interesting bit of information for you. The Phillips head screw was invented by Henry Phillips back in the 1930s. This piece didn't strike me as something that was back from the 1930s, so I was really surprised that it had flathead screws.
Is it even worth doing if you can't beat the out of it? I don't think so.
So that came apart pretty easy and created very little damage, if any, on the sides of this piece, or these now pieces. Hey, right? And just FYI, this is what overspray looks like. This happens when you get too close or stay too long with your paint sprayer.
So the trick to being able to cut in your paint, and by cut in, I mean get one specific line cut, is to use a good brush. This is Paint Couture's 2-inch angled. I also like Dixie Belle's mini angled. They just have really good bristles. They're really strong. They go exactly where I want them to go, which makes it easier for me to cut in my paint. If you were to get something like a Home Depot or Lowe's brush, a lot of times they are cut. If you look at them, they're cut down this way to become shorter, and those ends end up fraying. You'll know you have one because it'll look like it's had a fight with electricity, and it'll just go like that. And it's impossible to cut in with those brushes unless you are really, really good, which I don't have the patience to be that good. So I just like a good brush. Need to put my glasses on.
Y'all know I love my gel stain, and one of my secrets is to always use a glove and then a single sock, because we all have those laying around everywhere now, don't we? I'm going with a gray here, and yes, I have previously used this sock on a darker stain, but you know what? Reuse, reduce, recycle, or recycle, reduce, reuse, whatever that saying is. I'm just being frugal. Now, I thought going gray on gray that it would be fabulous, but now as I stand back, I'm not loving it.
I don't like the gray on gray.
See what I mean? Here we go with round 2 on a darker stain. I'm thinking if I put a darker stain over the lighter stain, I can either darken up the gray or just go with straight brown. Now, I do want to say that I did not wait for this to dry. I wiped it back with a paper towel, and then I'm going straight over wet stain with another stain to see if we can, you know, work some magic. I would say that I change the color of the hardware on these pieces about 98% of the time that I do them. And I love to hit a good sale like I did at Black & Decker and get some black spray paint. I think I bought about 10 jars of it. It was like $2 a piece or something stupid like that. I highly recommend. I don't have any links for them. I just really like the Black & Decker black spray. It came out really smooth, and I would absolutely use it again.
So I've literally put on 4 coats of this lighter golden ash from Dixie Belle, and it's not what I envisioned at all. I just kind of hate it a little bit. So we're calling in the big guns. Big guns being Espresso.
So you can see it's not darkening up the way I wanted it to. Now granted, like I said, I'm only wiping it back with a paper towel once it's on there because I'm not waiting for this to dry. It takes days for this to dry. It's cold and wet and I could just wait forever. So we're just going to jump ahead a step. Also, that's the way it is with oil-based stains. It takes them a longer time to dry than the water-based one. So it's not just this gel stain. It would be any gel stain in cold weather.
See if we can make magic.
No, I haven't had a lot to drink. I just accidentally pressed the slow-mo instead of the regular video, and therefore I'm having to edit out quite a bit of this video because I sound like I'm on some heavy medication.
It's a little bit better.
So what I'm saying here is that it is a little bit better, but because there are like 15 coats, actually more like 4 or 5 coats of gel stain on top, it has covered up a lot of the wood grain. Therefore, the whole reason I sanded it back is kind of moot. So I want to wipe it back with a paper towel and see if I can keep the stain itself dark, but still show some of that wood grain.
That's the way it works out in my head anyway.
Okay, I'll be honest. I'm not sure if that's any darker, but I am sure that I'm over it. And that's how it's gonna stay now. So we're gonna put a little black wax on it and make those details pop. 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 Okay, let's just do it, okay? I've clear coated this so that the chalk paint is not sucking in the wax. Anytime you have a porous paint that you're putting on, it's going to suck in whatever glaze or wax or anything that you put on top of it. So if you seal that off with like a liquid top coat or even another clear wax, then it will help you control this wax. Like I can wipe this back instead of it just inside the porous paint. Message me if that doesn't make sense to you. So you see I wiped back some of my paint. That could be because I didn't clean it well here. It could also be because I put like 5 coats of stuff on this one piece of furniture in like 24 hours, and that's probably 3 coats too many. But the answer to that is we're just gonna distress it now and make it all work, because that's how we roll. But we seem to have run into a bit of an issue. So I painted the insides right here because I just wanted a more uniform look, but oh, well, of course that one's going to prove me wrong. Okay, see? That one's getting stuck, and it's a little bit... Okay, trust me, I know it looks... It's not... It's making a liar out of me on camera. Trust me, though, it's hard to move in and out. And if people open up drawers and they can't open and shut, it's a deterrent from them purchasing your furniture. So... We are going to continue along with the distressed theme and sand the insides back down. These little sponge thingies are a lifesaver for your hands. If you're like old like me, I've been a postal carrier for 5 years, and my hands start to hurt sanding a lot. I've linked them below, so go and get you some. We're also going to sand a little bit right here. Wipe away. This is a furniture wax that I'll link below. Once I put this on, it's going to kind of revitalize this wood so that it's a lot more soft, and it'll allow these drawers to open and close easily. This also works as a sealer, so I don't have to worry about the top coat that I just sanded off.
Can we just pause for a moment to appreciate the determined expression on my face?
It just makes it kind of shiny. Let's do the other side. And now there are no problems with it at all. Other than I need to